morning and welcome to CV Church Online. Today is Sunday the 12th of July and be welcome. I don't know if you guys have been counting, but actually today marks the 16th Sunday in lockdown. So it's 16 Sundays of doing Church Online, which is just phenomenal. My name is Katie.
And I'm Roberto, her husband.
And we'd like to give you a warm welcome to today's service online. Now, we have a saying here at CV, be yourself. I wonder how many of us are in our pyjamas this morning, actually being ourselves. There's no better place to be ourselves than at home. And if you are joining us for the first time today, we'd love to give you a warm welcome. And please, everybody, if it's your first time here today, give a warm welcome, say hello, and give a hello back to us. We'd love to chat with you.
Hello.
Another thing that we want to mention, if you need prayer for anything, again, please write prayer in the comments down below and we'll have somebody make contact with you. Okay, so we want to bless you guys, we want to pray for you, and we want to be there for people who are in need of prayer. Another thing to break the ice and get the conversation flowing is, if you could only have one dessert for the rest of your life, what would that be?
Yeah, write it down.
Write it in the comments below. What would yours be?
There's a Brazilian dessert called trufas, which is chocolate with strawberries.
Very good, very good. Mine would be trifle. I love a trifle. Really similar. Yeah. But we want to know, so write the comments.
I think it's spelled the same way, right?
No.
No?
Trifle.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
Okay, so some of the lineup for today, we're going to have some worship, and the wonderful Simon Rudland has a guest in his house who is going to bring us this week's notices to stay tuned. One notice that we want to kind of reiterate today is that next Sunday, Sunday the 19th of July, we're not going to have a church online service. So we want to encourage you guys to be natural, be organic, do something in your inclusive communities, have a walk along the beach with a neighbour, be intentional and be intentional with fellowship.
Perfect. So just to open up before the worship, I'd like to just read the passage from Psalm 23. It's on the complete Jewish Bible, so it's pretty cool. I love it. So yeah, just let this word wash over you before we go into worship. It says, Adonai, which is Lord, is my shepherd. I lack nothing. He has me lying down in grassy pastures. He leads me by quiet waters. He restores my inner person. He guides me in the right paths for the sake of His own name. Just let that wash over you. He guides me in right paths for the sake of His name. And yeah, the Lord is our shepherd. He looks after us. Love you guys.
King above all kings. love you quite as often as I could have. Maybe I didn't treat you quite as good as I should have. If I made you feel second best, girl, I'm sorry I was blind. You were always on my mind. You were always on my mind. Hey there, Sheeby. Elvis Presley here, aka The King. Kind of a big deal. 3 notices today. Number 1, inclusive communities. Get involved. Jim has been talking about it. If you don't know where to start, you don't know who to talk to, email Michelle at canterburyvineyard.com. She'll get you started. Notice number 2, there's a survey. Fill it in. You should have seen it around on Facebook or through the normal channels of email. If you haven't had one yet, then email admin@canterburyvineyard.com. The survey is about how you want the church to look and feel and operate after the lockdown's finished. And number 3, there'll be no service this week, next week, the Sunday after. So a chance for you to do something yourselves. Spend time with your inclusive community, go on a walk, spend time with a neighbour. Church is not about a building or a service, it's about a community. And it's about connection with people. So there you go, 3 notices. And now, if you'll excuse me, I have to finish my song for Priscilla. Tell me that your sweet love hasn't died. Give me one more chance to keep you satisfied. You were always on my mind. You were always on my mind.
Hi guys, I just wanted to give you a quick update about how things are going for me, my family and all of that. I sure appreciate all the messages you guys have been sending through to encourage me, and I just want to let you know I'm going to be flying over for my father's funeral on Wednesday the 15th until Tuesday the 21st. So I'm going to try and just make a quick blast over there to be a part of that, support my mom, stuff like that. Be praying for Corin and the kids. Lockdown is stressful enough. With me being gone, it'll be doubly so, but I appreciate that. Likewise, Corin's father is also having some health challenges, and so it's a pretty intense time, full stop. I'm going to be taking leave from the 13th until the 22nd as well, just to make sure I'm processing on the level that I should be, and in order to not be really in the detail of stuff going on here at CV. And there's an amazing team that's going to be handling all of that during that time. If you have any questions about anything, just email admin@canterburyvineyard.com. Katie will get back to you and let you know who to be in touch with or what's going on. We will not be doing Sunday the 19th, so that is a week. Actually, we were not doing Sunday online in the live stream, but we are doing Sunday the 19th, and what we're doing is we're encouraging you to do that in your communities. So if you're a part of an inclusive community, get together, have some breakfast, sit outside and enjoy each other's company, invite some friends in to be a part of that. If you're not a part of a community, grab some people who you know and love and just reconnect. There's lots of live streams out there for you to be able to access if that's something that's become a part of your rhythm on a Sunday. We are back on Sunday the 26th. Just so you know, our final live stream for the summer, July 26th. We will be back. I also just want to give you guys this encouragement. The gospel of Jesus Christ is powerful. It's more powerful than death. If anything, I'm more aware of the love and the miracle of Jesus' cross and resurrection, the power of his kingdom now than I've ever been. It's like the gospel was still pretty big in my life, but just experiencing its reality in my Father's experience now just enlarged it so much. And it's beautiful. And our world needs it. You need it. I need it. So, thank you, Jesus, for what you have done. Love you guys. Bless you. And I'll see you real soon.
Yesterday, the darkness was thick, the air unbreathable. Yesterday, we were defeated, lost, without hope. But that was yesterday. And now a new day begins. The night is over. The sun is rising. And darkness is on the run. Because this is the day that changes everything. This is the day we dare to hope. This is the day we are brave enough to believe. This is the day we face down every fear and brazenly look in the empty tomb. This is the day sight is restored, the day that life takes its first breath, the day that thorns are replaced with a crown. This is the day that death is reversed. Light overcomes darkness. Wonder defies sorrow. Today we look to the heavens, alive with hope, and boldly proclaim, this is the day the Lord has made.
There was a moment when the lights went out, when death had claimed its victory. The King of love had given up his life, the darkest day in history. There on the cross they made for sinners, for every curse his blood atoned. One final breath and it was finished, but not the end we could have known. For the earth began to shake, and the veil was torn. What a sacrifice was made as the heavens roared. Oh, hail King Jesus! Oh, hail the Lord of heaven and earth! Oh, hail King Jesus! Oh, hail was a moment when the sky lit up, a flash of light breaking through. When all was lost, it crossed eternity, yeah. Oh, the King of life was on the move. Oh, for in a dark old tomb, oh, where our Lord was laid, what miraculous prayer, and we're forever dead. Oh, hail King Jesus. Oh, hail the Lord of heaven and earth. Oh, hail King Jesus. Oh, hail the Savior of the world. Oh, hail King Jesus. Oh, hail the Lord of heaven and earth. Oh, hail King Jesus. Oh, hail the Savior of the world. Whoa. Let every knee bow before the King of Kings. Let every tongue confess that He lift up the shout, lift up your shout. Let us join with all of heaven singing, oh, holy, you are holy, you are holy. We cry out holy, cry out holy. You are holy, you are holy. Oh, hail King Jesus. Oh, hail the Lord of heaven and earth. Oh, hail King Jesus. Oh, hail the Savior of the world. Oh. And I will build my life upon your love. It is a firm foundation, and I will put my trust in you alone, and I will not be shaken, and I will build my life upon your love. It is a firm foundation, and I will put my trust in you alone, and I will not be. I will build, and I will build my I will not be shaken. I will not be shaken. Oh. Thank you, Jesus. You're here with us today in Leicester. You're here with us, Lord Jesus. Thank you, Lord. We will not be shaken with what's happening, Lord Jesus. Our foundation is firmly placed with you, Lord Jesus. Thank you. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you, Lord.
So what does it mean to be a Christian during this season of time when we're in lockdown or easing of lockdown with restrictions being slightly loosened, and yet the world is still very strange, very unusual? What does it mean for God to be our God in this time, for Jesus to be Jesus to us? Who is God to you? How is being a Christian helpful or unhelpful in this season? I just want to spend a couple of minutes exploring that question. I was in a seminar the other day looking at in education and the impact of trauma on individuals, and the speaker was talking about how actually being in this season of lockdown has actually been traumatic, and they used that term specifically and found it quite helpful. And they talked about 7 preconditions for trauma. I wonder if you can relate to any of these, and whether you've experienced any of them yourself, some perhaps more than others during this time. They talked about, number 1, lack of predictability. Our predictable lives been disrupted and lost. Second, feeling immobilized with a sense of fear or a sense of powerlessness. Number 3, losing connection with other people. Number 4, numbing out or spacing out, so losing a sense of connection with yourself. Number 5, a loss of a sense of time. You know, when you say, I don't know what day of the week it is. Number 6, a loss of a sense of safety. And number 7, a loss of purpose. I wonder if you're feeling bruised, traumatized, like you are like a candle where that flame has just been snuffed out and the wick is just smoking and smouldering, and you're wondering if it's going to be put out. Well, Jesus speaks into this kind of situation when we go through periods of our life when we feel this way. And Jesus' nature is spoken about, quoting from the prophet Isaiah. It says, "Here is my servant," speaking of Jesus, "whom I have chosen, the one I love and in whom I delight." And then just a verse on it says, "A bruised reed he will not break, and a smouldering wick he will not snuff out." We believe God is powerful, and yet we also believe that God is gentle, that he is gentle in Christ. And if you're feeling bruised, if you feel like you're smouldering, the good news is that God will not snuff you out, that he is gentle, that he will tend to you, and that he will care for you. And if you look at all those things, those 7 preconditions for trauma, the question is, how can we turn those around? Life is unpredictable, but God is predictable in a good sense. Yeah, he does things that are surprising sometimes, but he's consistent. We know that he is always the God of love. He will always be there for us. There's a predictability in that. When we feel powerless, he is powerful, and we can come to him with our prayers and requests. When we lose a sense of connection with other people, we can come to God and connect with him. When we feel like we've lost a sense of connection with ourselves, remember the words that God has spoken over us, over you, that you are made in God's image, that he rejoices over you with singing, that he has died for you because he loves you. When you lose a sense of time, remember that God created the world with a sense of rhythm built into it, and listen to that rhythm, submit to that. There is a night and a day for a reason. There is rest times and work times for a reason. And in any way that you can craft your own time to have that more predictable sense of rhythm to it. When you're resting, be fully at rest. When you're working, engage in your work, whatever that might look like in this time. A loss of a sense of safety. We can never guarantee safety, and yet what we can guarantee is that our souls are safe eternally in God's hands. And finally, a loss of purpose. Your purpose might look different in this time, but I believe that God still has a purpose for you. So if you feel bruised, know that Jesus is gentle, and that you can come to him, and that you can find ways forward in this time, ways of purpose, ways of hope. And as you experience that for yourself, and you find healing for yourself, you then find that to be able to pass on to others.
In Christ alone, my hope is found. He is my light, my strength, my song. This cornerstone, this solid ground. Far through the fiercest drought and storm. What heights of love, what depths of peace. When fears are stilled, when striving cease, my comforter, my all in all. Here in the love of Christ I stand. In Christ alone, who took on flesh, fullness of God in helpless babe, this gift of love and righteousness, scored by the ones he came to save, till on that cross, as Jesus died, the wrath of God was satisfied. For every sin on him was laid. Here in the death of Christ I live. Oh, yes, I live in you, Jesus. Oh, yeah. There in the ground his body lay, light of the world by darkness slain, then bursting forth in glorious day, up from the grave he rose again, and as he stands in victory, since curse has lost its grip on me, for I am his and he is mine, bought with the precious blood of Christ.
Good morning, CV. I want to take a couple of minutes to talk about something that's been on my mind a lot in the last few weeks and in my heart, and it's about resilience. We've all been going through unprecedented times, and some of us will have been more resilient and coming out of that time now as we come out of lockdown and start to build normality again. We will come out of it differently, and some of us will have been more resilient than others. And I wanted to talk about how I've found some resilience out of God's goodness over these last few weeks, and hope that something that I say resonates with you as we move forward. So to define resilience has two different definitions really. One is a psychologist kind of definition, which is the ability to be happy or successful again after something difficult or bad has happened. So that's a definition I was definitely familiar with. The one I was less familiar with is the ability of a substance to return to its usual shape after being bent, stretched or pressed. So that's much more like a physics type of definition when you're talking about a material thing having resilience. I want to talk about the one that's to do with our psyche really, and I'm going to come back to the other one very briefly at the end. One of the things that makes for resilience, I think, is the ability to have Sabbath in solitude, to have some time alone. For those people who have been traumatised, had bad childhood experiences, not had good attachment opportunities, or are in a state of anxiety now, the thought of solitude can be really frightening. The idea of being on your own and using that space for creativity or for prayer or for meditation is something that the psychological mind just can't get its head round when you're feeling anxious or depressed, or the ability to be creative and to find God in that time I think is really challenging. And it's something I observe every day in my role as a foster carer, just how well the children that I've fostered are building resilience. For them, if they've disappeared for 5 minutes and gone into their room and they're playing on their own, I know they're building resilience. So I just sort of take a leaf out of their book really, and instead of just being on my own, because of course when we have a deep relationship with God, we're never alone. So it's about it's about finding God's goodness, remembering God's goodness. You know, God is good all the time, and He is always present. It's our ability to tune into Him and to rest in His presence that will make all the difference. I don't have an awful lot of solitude in my life. I'm a single parent, so I am busy with being every moment being taken up apart from sleep really. But I do have a little bit of time, and increasingly more time as we go back to normal life in some respects. My pursuit then in that time of solitude is to pursue God and to find joy in that time alone, to be able to meditate, to pray, to read my Bible, to be creative and to experience joy. And I know that I can only do those things because I feel free in Him. That whatever prison this virus has put upon us physically and emotionally and spiritually, I'm so grateful that I, for the most part, have managed to still feel free in Jesus. But I find Him most when I'm able to have some solitude, and being comfortable in solitude with Jesus is a real indicator of resilience, emotional resilience, and I'm so grateful to have that. So that's my other word, finding resilience in gratitude, being grateful for the small things. I wasn't good at this at the beginning of lockdown. I was so cross about everything, and I nitpicked, and everything was just annoying. probably for the first 3 or 4 weeks, and it was probably just as well that there weren't too many people around to be irritated by me while I got over that. But gradually, as time passed and I found that I had to adjust to this new normal that we're all adjusting to, I was able more and increasingly, and the Spirit prompted me, be grateful, be grateful. So I started giving thanks. So we went on lots of walks at the beginning because we had such a beautiful spring, didn't we? So I'd be grateful for nature, grateful for the sunshine, the leaves, and I would just be muttering my thankfulness to God as we walked about. Or grateful to get a parking space or find a £1 coin down the side of the sofa. Instead of letting those little moments pass as ordinary pieces of life, I tried to just feel the gratitude in my spirit. And that has helped me with resilience. Because if you feel grateful just for a moment, then you're not thinking about how irritated you are. And it really does. It's a practice. It's a habit. And it's something that we need to get better, I think, ourselves at doing day by day, is just having that attitude of gratitude, as the saying goes. But it's worth practicing. I don't think I was really conscious of it before lockdown, but it's definitely something that's helped me through these last number of weeks. And the Spirit of God has really spoken to me about that. And I just encourage you, be grateful for the little things. Anything small that happens that is just not annoying, be grateful for that and to give thanks for it. So resilience comes from an ability to enjoy solitude, to be in God's presence on our own, without distraction, without relying on busyness or relying on our confusion of what's going on in the world and trying to answer questions for ourselves and having that busyness in our heads. Resilience and solitude go together. And I think resilience and gratitude go together. And let me just return for a moment to that second definition about the ability of a substance to return to its usual shape after being bent or stretched or pressed. I suppose when we're talking about ourselves, I'd like to consider ourselves as not being bent back to a normal shape, but being bent back into and moulded into a new shape. That resilience will be marked on our lives by how we appear as we come through this period of lockdown. Not by looking the same or feeling the same or wanting the same or pursuing the same, but wanting the new and experiencing good new things and having the opportunity for more in-depth relationship with our people around us, our communities, and with God. And that's my prayer really, is I don't spring back to the same form after lockdown. I want to take on a new form. I want to look different, be different, and in that understand that Jesus has stood with me through this period of being in lockdown and not having any other adult company for weeks and weeks. And that's been challenging, but I'm so grateful that he's been teaching me a lesson about resilience. I hope some of what I've said will encourage you. It is intended to encourage and build up, not to condemn. Please do not hear any condemnation if you're struggling with any of this stuff. That's not what it's designed for. This is a testimony of God's goodness. Please just receive it as that. Good to get the chance to share.
It's a holy thing to be wild and free, like a raging storm on the calmest sea. Lord, heal my heart until my heart believes. It's a holy thing to be wild and free. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Oh, yes, it is. It's a sacred space to be lost in wonder, to safely rest in the hearts in our just as wide as the sea. It's the only thing to be wild and free. Yes, it is. Oh, yes, it is. We are shaped and formed by the hand of God. No height, no depth could ever separate us. The greater the distance, the greater the love. It's the only thing to be wild and free. So come on everybody, come on everyone. Let's run like a river, oh, and follow the sun. With our hearts that are open, just as wide as the sea. It's the only thing to be wild and free. Our God is wild, our God is full of mystery, our God is freedom, our God is full of destiny. His love has borders that our will never reach. It's the only thing to be wild and free. It's the only thing to be wild and free. It's the only thing to be wild and free. Come on, everybody. Oh, and come on, everyone. Let's run like a river. Oh, and follow the sun. With the hearts that are open, just as wide as the sea. It's the only thing to be wild and free. It's the only thing to be wild.